We are live on the Rebel Fleet. Welcome everyone to the Rebel Fleet. This time we are actually live. And today I am joined alongside my very good friends and fellow members of the Rebel Fleet. We have our blue leader, Evan Medina.
Hello.
And our gold leader, Matt Manser.
What up, people?
Rogue leader, Matthew Twaska, has fallen asleep on us, and that is quite alright. Personally, I am feeling tired myself. It is 1 a.m. here where we are recording.
Yeah,
So.
it's WrestleMania weekend, so I'm still hyped, so I'm ready to go.
Yes, we are also wrestling nerds as well, so we are very hyped for WrestleMania tomorrow. But this is not a wrestling show. This is a show about Star Wars. But that's alright, because I still love wrestling. So, if you have something to contribute about wrestling, Manser, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I like WrestleMania weekend. It's my favorite weekend of the year. Um, so I'm hoping for a good show this weekend.
Yeah, I think we'll
That's
get
all I'm gonna
that.
say.
But speaking of, no, that's an awful segue. Either way, I'm going to get into Star Wars news. That's my segue.
I don't know
Let's
why
just
we
go
you
to
went.
Star Wars.
I don't know why you
That's
even
why
gave
we're
it a
here.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do what we're here to do.
Yes, we're here to talk Star Wars, and let's start this off with Star Wars news. We are only 257 days away from Rogue One. Always looking forward to it. Very excited about
Very
it.
much.
No real news to report this week about it, though. Still no trailer. Do you guys feel like it's taken forever to get a trailer for Rogue One?
Mainly because of the fact that it's one of those films that honestly could be just as exciting, could be just as good as any of these next three because of the fact that it takes place in familiar territory for a lot more fans. And I don't know, I'm just like I want one bad, but I feel like we're gonna have to wait another couple of months. We might even I think it could be a couple of months before we really get like a definitive trailer. I hope we get one in May. That'd be really nice. But if we get one by July or August, I'll be fucking happy.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm kind of hoping we get one for May the 4th.
I
That'd be
hope you're
nice.
right. That should be a nice bonus. I feel like because, uh, everybody wants to be able to see at least a little bit of a preview. Trailers do matter. Trailers do get you hyped up. So I
Especially
hope
for
so.
us Star Wars fans.
Oh yeah, and I mean like this film is going to be really exciting as a commercial on the TV in the background just came on for the fact that Force Awakens is coming out on Blu-ray and everything. Uh, it's like this is exciting. You get that in April, and then in May you get the trailer. That would be a perfect
Perfect lineup.
way, in my opinion.
Perfect.
Yeah, to keep it going.
But as you were just mentioning, Star Wars: The Force Awakens comes out on Blu-ray and I believe DVD as well on April 5th, this coming Tuesday. I myself am going out to Target to purchase myself a copy on Blu-ray. Target specifically, because each store has their own kind of buying bonus. Target's being you get an extra scene, which seems the most appealing to me. Whereas Best Buy, you get like a steel book cover, which is cool, but it's not an extra scene.
Mm, very true.
Uh, Also, the day after Star Wars: The Force Awakens comes out on Blu-ray and DVD, they are releasing the new Poe Dameron comic from Marvel, which I
Interesting.
think I
That
will
sounds
also be
interesting.
picking up. So we'll get to see a little more about Poe Dameron and such. I'm really looking forward to that,
Yeah, he's one of those characters I always want to know more about. So
and we're
definitely.
certainly going to get that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so.
Otherwise, I think that pretty much. Oh wait, there is one more thing. There is one more piece of Star Wars news that just came to my mind. Let me just go and make sure I. Yes. Okay. So just recently, for Star Wars Episode 8, a uh, a new actress was actually just cast, and this is all speculation, of course. Her name is Nakota Garrett. And for you
Don't know who that
guys,
is.
you guys probably aren't familiar with her. I'm not even familiar with her. Uh, but she is rumored to be playing Han Solo's daughter. That's the big rumor going
Oh,
on right now for Episode 8.
You don't say.
hmm,
I do
quite
say.
interesting.
And you guys should, off-air notes here. You should probably go Google her because you'll like what you see if you know what I mean. Woo! Anyway,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
she's
not
a
a bad thing either.
no,
But
no.
it
So,
definitely it makes the dynamic a lot more interesting with Kylo and everything. So
well, I think if she is definitely cast as Han Solo's daughter, then there's a good chance that Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, is definitely not a Solo.
That's a-okay with me, man.
Yep,
I don't want her to be anyway.
I would definitely prefer for her to be a Skywalker or
Yep.
even a Kenobi, which I think is a perfect segue into today's topic. Uh, your brainchild, Mr. Medina. Our blue leader here came up with a new topic, new series for the Rebel Fleet channel here on YouTube, and that series is called Who's Better? And this week's edition happens to be all about Obi-Wan. So the question is, who's better? Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan or Sir Alec Guinness Obi-Wan? And to that, I just want to let you guys know I did run a poll on our Twitter page. You can find us on Twitter at the Rebel Fleet. Right now, I believe we had, let's see here, we have 8 votes in. There's still a day and 14 hours left for voting. And right now, Ewan McGregor is winning 75% to Sir Alec Guinness's 25% with 8 votes in.
Okay.
So
So
seems like Ewan
6-2.
McGregor, yeah, he is. He definitely has the lead. But for you guys, who do you guys believe was the better Obi-Wan? Who's better?
I personally am gonna say, I think for the sake of arguments, and for the sake of legacy, I'm gonna go with Alec Guinness.
Alrighty.
But
What about
I'll
you,
let answer.
I'm gonna go McGregor.
McGregor? I will also go along Mansor's side on this one and say Ewan McGregor. Now, Evan, being playing devil's advocate here, why do you believe Sir Alec Guinness is better than Ewan McGregor?
Well, I think that the direction of Obi-Wan's character is more defined through what happens in the prequel movies. I understand that very much so. But I think that Obi-Wan's character is more simplistic in the original, and we get him as more of an old wizardly type. And I like that element to Obi-Wan because he seems like the wise man. And although I do think Ewan McGregor played a really good young version, I think that Alec Guinness defined what it meant to be that role, the mentor that so many people could relate to. It's like when he was giving advice to Luke, it almost felt like he was giving advice to you, the viewer, as well.
Yeah, he could. He really did. He could transcend that role and almost bring it out of the movie screen and to the audience. He was a very talented actor. In fact, actually, it's very fitting that we're doing Who's Better tonight. Well, actually, we're an hour late, but it doesn't matter. To yesterday, technically yesterday, was Sir Alec Guinness's 102nd birthday.
Wow,
Damn.
that's
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's very
Yeah, and I
fitting.
mean, I do want to address the obvious point that Alec Guinness did not think highly of Star Wars. He actually thought it was a bunch of like wizard hocus pocus crap,
Yeah, the
and
exact
he
quote is actually fairy tale rubbish.
yeah, he never thought it was like anything, like he didn't think it was good for any reason. And that's obviously very interesting, and you could obviously use that as a good argument for why he wasn't even the best Obi-Wan because of that. But I almost feel like you can also counter that and turn it into a positive thing and say, well, even though that's what he felt about the role, he still played it so convincingly. He still gave it his all. He still put in quite a bit of effort because he played that character extremely well. So there was no hint at any point in the 3 films, counting the episodes 5 and 6 when you can see him in Force Ghost. Uh, there's never an indication that he didn't take the role very seriously, even if that is how he felt about Star Wars.
You know, even if he didn't take the role that seriously, and even if you could say half-assed it, that really speaks to him as an actor. I mean, even if he was
Sure.
half-assing the character, he was still
Yeah.
phenomenal in the role as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Very whimsical, very wise. It was really cool. Now, I'm going to switch things to Manser over here. Why do you believe Ewan McGregor, Manser?
Um, Mainly because I know everyone shits on the prequels and stuff, and um, I don't know. I really felt like and I know it's only the first movie, but I feel like him and Liam Neeson had like this special connection, this special bond. It was something about them two being paired together. I think they did a good job casting that movie, and I don't know, it just kind of made you. I don't know what the word is for it, but kind of it made you feel, you know.
Yeah, no, they definitely had a great bond. They were what a Jedi, Knight and a Jedi Padawan are, and you could see the connection there, and the love they did share for each other. When Qui-Gon did pass away from the wounds he suffered from Darth Maul. But
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not taking anything away from you know, what Evan said. I do agree. With everything he said on his point of view, but I don't really. My preference isn't that much different. I do like them. They both did a good job, in my opinion. So the better is really not that much. You know what I'm saying? It's just vary by maybe a hair. You know.
I get you,
So
absolutely.
I'm more on the balanced, but there's like a slight unbalance.
Well, yeah, absolutely. After all, this is who's better. You can't choose both. You have to put more weight on one side. And for us both, it's Ewan McGregor. And my reason being Ewan McGregor is because all he had to work off of was a few scenes from those three movies in the original trilogy. Those few scenes. Not he got like half of number 4, a little number 5, and a little number 6. And he
Yep.
was able to take that and turn it into he added so many layers to the Obi-Wan character. For example, episode 1, he created the young Jedi Padawan Obi-Wan. We got to see him start, as a Padawan and still learning. We got to see him before he was whimsical and wise. Then the second one, he is the Jedi Knight trying to train Anakin, and we see him uh, develop more as this fatherly figure, stern and kind of being a douche. I mean, at least that was always my thought of episode 2, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then episode 3, we see him make the huge transition from father to almost brotherly figure of Anakin. And then somewhere towards the end, he turns into what Sir Alec Guinness was in episode 4, 5, and 6. So I think that speaks a lot about Ewan McGregor being able to take on this character and add so much more depth to it than what Sir Alec Guinness could do. Do you have a
Yeah, I don't dis
do you have a counter argument to that, Evan?
Well, yeah, I would say that I think that if Alec Guinness, with the little he did work with, was that good. I mean, you could attribute it to the fact that the movie itself is classic, that being A New Hope. But I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi's character, of course, I think that's a good argument about Ewan McGregor. But I also do think that even if he did have shit dialogue to work with, he definitely did his part. He definitely was one of the stronger points of the prequel films, and that's why it's honestly makes sense to say that Ewan McGregor was a great Obi-Wan. But I think again, it's sometimes always hard to mess with the original. It's hard to top what the original character had done, and I think the the thing is, when you have a comparison like this, you're taking the same character at two completely different points in that character's life and trying to say which part of it was better. And I mean, for the good of everything, storyline wise, if I'm gonna kayfabe myself here, so to speak, to use a wrestling term, I guess, um, it's like Obi-Wan failed more in the prequel movies, but did not fail in the originals because he trained Luke, who therefore was the reason that Darth Vader ended up, fulfilling the prophecy. Although he did train Vader, he also was the one who, like, I won't say directly, but kind of indirectly pushed him over the edge.
Yeah, no, you were right. I mean, part of his turn was from Obi-Wan's harsh teachings, and I think that's well represented in episode 2. No doubt. I think
Most definitely, yeah. I think
I
that's where
do
you see
think it
their
contributed.
relationship really, yeah, you see their relationship really have its negativity.
Yeah,
And I definitely think that Obi-Wan grew throughout the trilogy, and then that growth was fully cemented in episode 4. Obviously, it's weird to say because episode 4 was in 1977 and fucking episode 1, 2, and 3 were in the 90s and 2000s. So it's not exactly the easiest comparison in that way. So that's why this who's better debate in particular is a very hard one, but it's that's what makes it cool because it's two completely different moments in Obi-Wan's time. And I know I went to the storyline rather than the actual acting job itself, but I like the tonality of Alec Guinness. That's why I think that he was particularly better because he had that calm, like wise demeanor, and obviously you weren't going to get that as much with Ewan McGregor's character, but I don't know. I think that he played him very well, so I'm not going to say that Ewan didn't do a great job because he
Well,
did.
you know, I give Ewan a lot of credit for taking on that role, especially in episode 3, for when he really tried to tie it all together. He wanted to get the Sir Alec Guinness look. He wanted to
Yeah.
get some of the mannerisms and some of the way he talked as well, you know, saying, for example, hello there, you know, when he said it in episode
Oh
3
yeah.
and in episode 4.
Yep.
I mean, he tried to incorporate as much as Sir Alec Guinness as he could, and it shows in episode 3. It really does. And I give
Yeah,
that a lot
definitely.
of credit to the actor, but um, I don't know. I have trouble saying that Sir Alec Guinness is better for some reason. I think story wise, I love Obi-Wan. There's no two ways about it. I think Obi-Wan is an awesome character, and I really think it's a character that it transcends time when you really think about it. I mean, like you said earlier, this was a character that was created in the 70s, and here we are in the 2000s, and people are still talking about him. I
Oh,
mean, it's
absolutely. And they will
absolutely
be for
incredible.
many more years.
It's absolutely incredible. Um, as for who's better, I'm still standing by Ewan McGregor. That is absolutely sure. I think his work with on episodes 1, 2, and 3 added so much more to the character of Obi-Wan and gave us a really good insight as to why he was on Tatooine, as to why he was the way he was,
Yeah.
and why he sacrificed himself to Vader. I think it added a lot more to it. And I mean, I know that's partially just for story elements, but I also give a lot of the credit to Ewan McGregor as well.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and I think Ewan does deserve some credit. But I do think, like, to be fair, Sir Alec Guinness did not have as much to work with either. You know what I
No,
mean?
you're right. I'll give you that. Now, I always wondered, and I think you and me have talked about this before. Do you think Sir Alec Guinness wanted to be killed off in Episode 4, or do you think that was originally the story plot?
I will see since Star Wars was really only supposed to be one movie. I think that like there might have been no intention to keep him alive either way. But
Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
don't know that obviously. But that's never been said one way or another. That's just me saying that I think that's a possibility. Um, but yeah, I think Alec Guinness, considering the way he felt about the movie, yeah, I think that he may have wanted to be killed off. I think that's a very likely possibility.
Absolutely. Well, does anyone else have any final closing thoughts about the who's better debate here? Anybody at all?
I don't know if
Uh,
Manser has any additional thoughts.
Yeah.
no, I kind of, I like I said, I'm really, really in between. But I have to take a slight edge. Both sides are very valid, you know. So, I mean, I think they did a good job casting Obi-Wan in both the prequels and the original trilogy, in my opinion. And I think, McGregor did a really good job trying his best to do what he could do with just, the one film, and I'm just gonna say one film, pretty much, because that's all it really was.
Yeah,
So I think he did a good job incorporating what he wanted to do, and he did his, you can't really say backstory, but I guess front story, or whatever you want to call it. So I think he did a good job playing the back story of Obi-Wan,
yeah,
kind of.
and I think
Yeah,
it's fair to like if you are gonna argue for Alec Guinness, it's a good argument for it is that like he set the tone. You know what I mean? And setting the
he
tone is
really did.
oftentimes the most important element.
You're so right. I will give you this. You know, playing devil's advocate on my own on myself, he did set the tone. You know, Ewan McGregor, he followed. He did. There's
Absolutely.
there's no two ways about it.
That's not to say that he didn't follow it excellently because I truly think he did an amazing job.
Oh
So
no, they
I have
both did really
nothing.
fucking awesome. There's no two ways
Yeah, I
about
have.
it.
I have nothing but good things to say about Ewan McGregor's role because I think he did an excellent job.
Same with Sir Alec Guinness. He was awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
we really don't
absolutely.
we don't dislike either guy. We think they're both
Yeah,
friggin' awesome. So
this is one of those debates where it's like I like both. We all like both,
we
but
love both. Yeah,
ultimately we're just picking which one we like a little better.
yeah. And for me, it's gonna be Ewan. I've always liked Ewan
Yep.
from the prequel
Yeah, and that's
trilogy.
fair. And
And you know,
yeah,
I think a good way
for
to
me it's Alec. You know?
yeah, no, it's for you it's absolutely Alec. But Manser, what about you? Who was it in the end for you?
Oh, McGregor.
You're going Ewan. Good for you. Um, I'll say this much: when they were doing the casting with Episode 4, they knew what they were getting with Sir Alec Guinness. He was a seasoned actor, um, a very good actor. But
Yep. Very
with
good.
the prequel trilogy, casting a young Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor was definitely a hidden gem for them because he turned out to be perfect for Obi-Wan.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And a little fun fact: most people don't know this. I believe Wedge Antilles. I believe it was Wedge. I can't remember exactly who. Now I feel bad because I'm starting to give a false fact if I'm wrong. Either way, one of the pilots in the original trilogy is the uncle of Ewan McGregor, which could have led to why Ewan got the role as Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
I know. It's absolutely it's shocking. Just a little fun factoid. I'm not sure if it's Wedge now. Now I'm gonna hate myself for not knowing. Oh well.
I think it could be. I'm not 100%. I wish I could back you
I
up
know
on
the
it,
actor's
but
name is Dennis Lawson. I know that much. I'm just not sure if it's Wedge.
it's just weird how it's a small world.
It really is. But for the most part, that's probably going to wrap up this first episode of Who's Better. Just to, you know, give closing thoughts. I am standing by Ewan McGregor. Blue leader Evan Medina. He's sticking by Sir Alec Guinness, and our gold leader Matt Manser is sticking by his original vote of Ewan McGregor. So thank you very much for joining us here today on the Rebel Fleet. It was a very short episode, but that is all right. I prefer it shorter than longer in my opinion. That sounds really wrong. Damn YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. But if you wouldn't mind pressing that subscribe button, maybe like the video and comment down below. Thank you very much. May the force be with you.